calling ourselves all these different names as like Moor and African and American and whatnot. I showed you how even though we are all of those, that we cannot just exclusively say this is it and this is the truth. But it has to be this and that. And we got to add black to it. So let's move over to the church, black church. The black church. We've been taught by black preachers in a method and in a way that further enslaves us. It doesn't matter if this black preacher says that he was called by God and never went to Moody's Bible Institute or any school of theology. Whether he did or whether he didn't, his teaching is from the mindset of the Caucasian that continues to lead us further into a servitude position than bringing us out of that position into being men and women independent of them, doing for self. What do you mean, brother minister? Well, let's look at it. He tells us turn the other cheek. If someone slaps us on one side, turn to them the other side. Obey your master. Even though the Bible wasn't talking about slave master, they made it mean obey your slave master. Well, turn the other cheek. I'm going to show you what I mean now. The same exact term that they're saying means if they hit you on one side, turn to them the other. Just continue to be whooped, continue to be beat. Don't try to resist. Don't fight back. Well, I'm going to give you another form or another way of looking at that. Turn the other cheek. If I turn this side of my face to you, it does not look the same as this side of my face. If it did look the same, then when you go and get a picture taken or you get arrested and they take a photo of you, if both sides looked alike, they wouldn't take the time to look at, tell you to turn this way and then turn that way. Evidently, both sides look totally different. There's a teaching called Taoism. Most of the Asiatics or Asian people take up that particular persuasion. And in Taoism, there's a symbol. They call it the Taoist symbol, but it's also known as the yin and the yang. This yin and yang symbol, on one side is all black, and on the other side is all white. But there's a white spot on the side where it's all black, and there's a black spot on the side where it is all white. And it represents balance. It's telling you that no matter how dark that side is, there's a white speck there, which saying is, on this side, no matter how white something is, there's a black speck right here. Nothing's completely anything. And this type of balance is also showing you in science. One foot is longer than the other. You wouldn't be able to walk. You walk like a stilt man. One leg is longer than the other. I wear a size 13 shoe, but yet, believe it or not, my other foot is a 12. Yours is too. Just really check it out. One arm is longer than the other. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that if I'm showing you my good side, and in the word good, you can also hear the word God. Just take out one of the zeros. So if I'm showing you my God side, and that's the side you see all the time, and you hit me on my good side, then if I turn the other cheek, which does not look like the good side, then I'm turning to you the cheek that I need in order to defend myself. What type of God will give everything in creation a defense system, but when you find God, you are rendered defenseless? That doesn't make sense. Everything has a defense system, but you mean that when you say that you give up your will to do the will of God and that you believe in Christ and that he died and all that you go through in order to be saved, that the moment you are saved, you are rendered defenseless and you are not supposed to fight? Not true, brothers and sisters. If you show your good side, God gave you a defense system also. And if you're showing your good side and someone hit you on your good side, you turn the other cheek. And then you're supposed to go at him and fight and defend yourself. And then when you win and walk away, you say, Father, forgive them, because they knew not what they did. Why? You see, that's not violence. Then you turn back to your true self. But you have to defend yourself. God's people, look, didn't God say that you are the temple of God and that if you clean up that temple, he'll live there? A temple is a house dedicated to the observance of God. And if this is your temple, shouldn't you have a defense system to defend your temple? God's temple. So I'm just showing you a small part of how the Bible was used to enslave us, but I'm here to use this same Bible to free us, to free our minds. Now, a lot of people think that when you talk about salvation and being saved, that it's a Christian thing. But I want to take it way back. Since this is Black History Month, I want to take it way back to a place that in English they call it Egypt, but in our African teaching, it's Kemet. And the word Kemet means coal black. Again, going back to the first segment where you were shown that whatever they named that particular area in the continent of Africa, the root of that name meant black. It always do, because the name of the people always represented their color. It represented the land that they were on. That's the way we are. We were one with the land. Our color was one with the land. And the first system of salvation came from a group of people called the Kemites in a land called Kemet. And today, you got all of these different religions, and all of them talking about salvation, and all of them saying that if you don't come to their religion, you're going to hell. If you Baptist, you better be Church of God in Christ. If you Church of God in Christ, you better be Methodist. If you Methodist, you better be Jehovah's Witness, because God coming back for Jehovah's Witness, and the rest of them, they going to hell. I asked the question, if God is not the author of confusion, why then are you in such confusion being people of God, you say? Now, that's another question. Throughout this segment, I'm going to be saying things that might make you just say, making you think. It's only one God. And God did not create religion, but God created righteous order. And all you have to do is get in line with righteousness, and you become one with that entity that you can call God, Jehovah, or whatever name you want to call him, because he knows his name. Let me read to you this first system of salvation coming from a book called The Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. He was a professor in a college. I don't remember the college he was from that he taught at. But George G.M. James, he disappeared mysteriously after writing this book. Maybe you can tell me why after I read this. The ancient Kemites had developed a very complex religious system. It was called the Mysteries, which was also the first system of salvation. It regarded the human body as a prison house of the soul. which could be freed from its bodily impediments through the disciplines of the arts and sciences, and advance from the level of a mortal to that of a God, not the capital G, but the small g. This progression was known as the summum bonum, or the greatest good, or the greatest God. Every time you say the word good, remember it means God. So if you do good, you do God. If you be good, you be God. Remember I told you that our evolution is from human being to supreme being. They call us the children of God. God continually called us children because we never grew up. His children. Jesus said we are heirs, but not only heirs, we are joint heirs. To be an heir to a throne means you are an heir to a king. And if Jesus is God's son, and he said that we are also children of God, then Jesus is our brother. You can't be an heir being a cousin, or a niece, or a nephew. In order to be an heir to a throne, you have to be kin, like brother or sister, if you're going to be prince or princess or king or queen. And if you get in that position as a queen, then you would have to look for a king. If you get married, being a woman, you would have to, when you get married, then that person is supposed to become king. So we say Jesus is our brother. Let me read some more. The Kemetic Mystery School was also a secret order, and membership was gained by initiation and a pledge to secrecy. Now we're talking about millions of years ago, and if you recall, there is a group of people in the United States that call themselves Masons. But there is a difference between black Masons and white Masons. Black Masons are divided. White Masons are united as one. White Masons will not let you into their lodge. Black Masons will let white Masons into their lodge. You see something wrong with that picture? Is there something they know we don't know? But then if we were to do that, our own people will call us racist because we feel we cannot move forward without having some other ethnic group a part of us, even when we're talking. Go to any type of symposium or whatnot, you'll hear black people speaking, saying black, Hispanic, white. But all you have to do is turn the channel, one of those cable channels, to where you're hearing Hispanics or Chinese or white people speaking, and they're speaking on their own behalf. And you won't hear them say Hispanic, black, white. You won't hear the Chinese say Chinese, Hispanic, black. But when you hear black people, we have to say black, white, Hispanic, this. All because we've been brainwashed into still thinking that we cannot do anything for ourselves, that we need the help of others. We were the first teachers. But now we are being taught by those who we first taught. Now we're coming into our true selves. Waking up, beginning to learn who we were and who we are. So I just wanted to show you all that the first system of salvation in the first religion was in ancient Kemet, and everything else came from that, and all split up into different religions, even the Hindu religion, even the Indian religion. All of that derived from our people in ancient Egypt. The true Egyptians are black, not the white ones that you see over there. I have so much to share with you.